At the end of each year, I like to look ahead to the currents and the opportunities of our craft. And while I see some progress here and there, I don't see potent shifts. So I'm learning that it's better to create them. Would you join me? That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy New Year. Despite the prevalence of retrospectives and the value of looking back to celebrate wins and inventory lessons, I've found it's more powerful to look ahead. The future is ours to design, and I've discovered that part of leadership is the will to design it. So let's get busy creating our 2022. But first, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what we need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly powerful and unique force in this industry. And if you find that this show helps you, please do me a favor and tell your friends. You can also find us in the Badass Agile Lounge on Facebook and anywhere you happen to be on social media. Here's my core belief. I think we should be applying our best energies to solving the most critical problems, whether they're software or not. As of right now, I think our most critical problems are not software-based problems. I think it's number one, how do we use agile mindsets to respond to the shifting environments of work, and more importantly, our human wellness? And number two, how do we finally attack the problems that really inhibit scaling, which is mindset shift? Everywhere I look, the biggest challenge facing large organizations is people. We're not experiencing an exodus based on people's laziness or greed, but a global cultural shift. The necessity of working from home has created nothing short of a rebirth. We've seen what's possible. We've had a chance to contemplate what matters. And I think we realize that for too long, we accepted the status quo, working harder and longer days, too often to achieve pointless ends. We sacrificed our health, our growth, our family time to benefit our employers. I called this trend in one of my first ever blog posts, written in 2005 on the now defunct myspace.com. It was about how change happens in inches, imperceptible shifts that occur slowly over time. Our liberty is chipped away or clawed back in tiny increments because ingesting them that way is less painful than swallowing the inevitable end whole. But people are demanding better conditions as the remnants of their blind loyalty are crumbling like ash. Some people are just ditching the commute. Some prefer the comfort of working from home. Some feel the work-life balance is just better this way. Many are beginning to question the worth of giving 60 or 80 hours per week for very little benefit and much less happiness. Something is different this time. In sharp contrast to the past, businesses can no longer treat people as hot swappable assets. In great numbers, we find courage. There's a new attitude at work. It's just not worth it. Now, companies can't afford to wait this one out or build a solution over several years. People are expecting, right now, real leadership. To meet the challenge with silence now would shift the image of powerful Fortune 500 companies into blundering, powerless egotists. A failure to act in times of existential change will forever destroy trust. So there are two opportunities for us. The first is to help companies see the change and lead through it. We can help them design the response, I believe Agilists must help leaders develop a concise and inspiring vision and help inform it. After all, we're supposed to stand for happier, healthier teams, aren't we? We know firsthand that we can't inspire better delivery with a burned-out squad that has lost its faith. We can show them what a better tomorrow looks like. The second is to help the masses claim their future. There's nothing wrong with capitalizing on change and uncertainty right now. So we can teach people who are inspired to ascend in their jobs or as entrepreneurs at this critical time and show them the Agile way. Show them how to go from vision to backlog, how to take a backlog and execute on it with priority, deliver the most valuable features and outcomes first, and then how to continuously inspect and adapt to make things better, to grow, to expand, and to learn more. One of the biggest favors we can do our fellow citizens is to teach them how to learn more about business, about opportunity, about the nature of the world, about how to create value in the marketplace, about how to create their own liberty as individuals, as small businesses. There has never been a better time to do incredibly gratifying, fulfilling, and fun stuff. Notice that neither of these proposals, helping companies manage the shift, helping people manage the opportunity, has anything to do with software delivery. Personally, I'm out of the coaching game. Specifically, I no longer coach software development teams. And at this stage, most companies that have adopted Agile either get the plot or are starting to realize where they're falling short. Good counsel in this space is no longer hard to find. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but for most of us, our career track stops at Agile Coach. Maybe there's a director of enterprise agility post that you're interested in or something just a little bit higher. But if we simply open our eyes to different opportunities and taking advantage of what's happening in our space right now, we could become limitless. In my experience, my clients need the most help putting down the theory and getting after the practice. The biggest impediment is their willingness to accept change and to act courageously in response to it. So what about you? What are you going to do with your 2022? Where do you see the opportunities? And if you're interested in hearing more, by all means, reach out. I want to hear about your story. I want to hear about what you've got planned for the year. You can find me at badassagile.com or on Instagram at badassagile and on Twitter at badass_agile. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, stay badass.